He sold his company for what would be $350 billion today. Then, he did something no billionaire had ever done. He gave almost all of it away before he died. And the buildings he paid for are still standing in 2,509 cities. 1891. Andrew Carnegie controlled the largest steel company in America. Carnegie Steel produced more steel than all of Great Britain combined. He was 55 years old and already one of the richest men in the world. That year, he wrote an essay that shocked the business community. It was called The Gospel of Wealth. The argument was simple and radical. Any man who dies rich dies disgraced. He didn't just write it, he meant it. In 1901, at age 65, Carnegie sold his steel company to J.P. Morgan for $480 million. In today's money, roughly $350 billion, the largest business transaction in American history at that time. Morgan asked him if he would have sold for less. Carnegie smiled and said, "I would have taken $300 million. Morgan replied, "You would have gotten it if you'd asked." Most men would have spent the next 20 years protecting that fortune. Carnegie spent the next 18 years systematically giving it away. Not randomly, strategically. He had one rule: don't just give money, build things that last. He started with libraries. In 1883, he built his first public library in Dunfermline, Scotland, where he was born. Then he made an offer to every city in America. If you provide the land and promise to stock and staff the library, I'll pay for the building. Cities lined up. By the time he died, Carnegie had funded 2,509 libraries in America, Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the Caribbean. Small towns that had never had access to books suddenly had marble buildings filled with knowledge, free to anyone who walked through the door. The buildings weren't just functional, they were beautiful. Carnegie insisted on quality architecture because he believed access to knowledge should come with dignity. But he didn't stop at libraries. He funded Carnegie Hall in New York, still one of the world's most prestigious concert venues. Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, now a top-tier research institution. The Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. The Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, which created the first pension system for college professors. He wasn't scattering donations, he was building infrastructure. By the time Andrew Carnegie died in 1919 at age 83, he had given away 90% of his fortune, $350 million, distributed strategically across institutions designed to last. Today, over a century later, those Carnegie libraries still operate in thousands of communities. Carnegie Hall still hosts performances. Carnegie Mellon graduates still shape technology and business. The foundations still fund research and education. He once said, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced." Andrew Carnegie didn't die rich. He died having built 2,509 libraries, dozens of institutions, and a model for strategic philanthropy that every billionaire since has studied. The steel is gone, the factories are closed, but the libraries are still open. Some fortunes disappear in a generation. Others turn into buildings that communities use for over 100 years. The difference is what you build while you can still decide where it goes.